Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. Well, folks, we have to start with the price of Bitcoin because it continues to fall. Right now, it's trading just above $73,000. But Bitcoin is approaching the bottom of that rising channel it's been in over the past couple or few months. And it has touched the bottom of that a couple of times already. And it went to the top of that channel and now it's falling down. And of course, the bears are screaming, bear flag, bear flag. This is going to break down to lower lows. Now, that is certainly a probability, right? That could absolutely happen. But there's also the chance that this could bounce off of support around 71,000 and continue in the channel and then eventually break through that 200-day moving average. We do have some CME gaps at 84,000. Plus, you have the stock market is looking pretty good. But on the daily chart, the MACD is still in control by the bears. And the RSI, I guess the good sign for the RSI is that it is approaching the oversold zone. So we've seen historically the markets are cyclical. So if Bitcoin touches that oversold zone, I anticipate that we're going to bounce and continue in this channel. So that's a key metric to watch. And the RSI currently is around a 35. And we know that the official oversold zone is at 30, while overbought is at 70. Now, it doesn't mean it can't go beyond those levels, but essentially when we are beyond those levels, it's extreme overbought or extreme oversold. So I don't think we're in that type of situation unless there's some major escalation with the Iran war or some black swan event that no one is anticipating. But if everything goes according to plan, we could see a bounce here. Bitcoin hitting that oversold zone and bouncing and continuing potentially. Again, not guaranteed. And of course, the bulls and bears are battling, and the bears are winning right now. And if we look at the weekly time frame, the MACD still shows the bulls are in control, but that's losing momentum. So this is where we need to see some sort of bounce around $71,000 for Bitcoin to continue. Another positive sign, which has me thinking that, we could, even if we may go a little bit lower to around 71, that we're going to see a bounce is the Bitcoin MVRV, especially the 30-day MVRV is under water right now. So the majority of traders are not in profit. So this is a very good sign, folks. And again, along with the RSI, could be setting us up for another bounce and for Bitcoin to rally higher above the 82K resistance it has been hitting, and of course breaking through that 200-day moving average. So again, the stock market continues to hit new all-time highs, but it is in the overbought zone, although it looks like bears are losing momentum from the short-term pullback and it's about to flip bullish. But we have to wait and let it confirm, right? We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but if the stock market continues to rally here, this bodes well for crypto. But it really sucks to see the stock market and certain individual stocks rallying while crypto, Bitcoin is kind of suffering here, right? And obviously we're in a bear market, so we're gonna have to be patient and climb our way out. But this is the cyclical nature of the crypto market. But obviously it has outperformed over the past 10 to 15 years, and I'm hoping once the Clarity Act passes that we start to outperform those other assets classes again. Now, I want to highlight what Analyst Crypto currently shared with regards to some charts with global liquidity. And his chart shows that Bitcoin is obviously still following it with a lag, about a 75-day lag. And even though we've had some major downturns, Bitcoin being more volatile than the actual movement of global liquidity, it is somewhat still following this, even though it hasn't been a perfect layout. So he says Bitcoin bottomed on the exact day the GLI, the Global Liquidity Index, said it would. Bitcoin topped on the exact day the GLI said it would. No indicator is perfect, but this one continues to be quite useful. Now, obviously, you don't want to bet the farm on just one metric, right? We're looking at different things, but we have to pay attention to this because at the end of the day, the thesis of assets all get repriced as with the more money that is printed at the basement of currency is absolutely factual. But there can be ebbs and flows and delays, and certain assets can outpace others. So, for example, gold and silver really outpaced crypto in this cycle, right? There's no arguing that. And then we're seeing stocks right now. So the hope is that crypto catches up. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, but at least we're seeing some level of correlation here, even if it's not perfect and there is a lag. He also highlights here that Bitcoin is beginning to diverge from the software stocks because Bitcoin, for some weird reason, is highly correlated to the software ETFs. And you line up the charts, and there's no arguing that. So it's so interesting, how the market makers are running the show here. He says, I don't expect this to continue for long. One of them will eventually follow the other, but the tough question is which one. So lots of patience required here, folks. Obviously, I am long-term macro bullish. I've been saying Clarity Act passes, all the on-ramps that are being built, we're going to see the super cycle kick off. But right now, it's probably going to be a bit tough, right? And I don't know what the summer holds for us. It's usually summers are not that great for markets. Are there exceptions? Absolutely. But the saying is sell in May, go away. I hope that's not too true this summer. And, Bitcoin and crypto, even if it's a slow, steady grind, continues to move upwards. But we shall have to wait and see. But we continue to see a lot of buying of Bitcoin and other crypto assets here. Bit Digital buys $20 million worth of Ethereum, expands its treasury to 158K ETH. So the purchase pushed the NASDAQ listed company ahead of Coinbase Global to become the fourth largest public corporate holder of Ether, according to CoinGecko data. So the buying continues, and these folks are obviously anticipating higher prices. And if they're able to make it through the bear market, it will certainly pay off. And here we got news that another crypto company is looking to go public. So crypto trading firm FalconX has confidentially filed a draft S1 registration statement with the SEC, the initial step toward a potential public listing in the US. So we've been talking about Kraken, Securitize, blockchain.com, and others, and another one being added to the list here. So I think these folks are going to go public once there's more favorable market conditions, maybe later this year. My thesis is that Trump, I don't believe, wants to go into the midterm elections with the markets in the dumps, and that includes crypto. So we have news. He's been tweeting a lot about crypto lately. Just yesterday, he put out a post on Truth Social where he's calling for the Senate to continue moving the Clarity Act. And he's not the only one. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent also came out today and said, look, we got to get the Clarity Act through. He also highlighted that there will be no CBDC under the Trump administration, but they haven't gotten the anti-CBDC Act passed in the Senate yet. So they better get that done because words won't matter. Another administration can come in and do it, right? So this is where we got to be careful. But as mentioned, Trump putting out a post here just yesterday saying Gary Gensler and the anti-crypto army nearly destroyed the American crypto industry by driving Bitcoin, crypto perpetuals, and innovation offshore, but Trump saved it. America is now the crypto capital of the world, and builders and entrepreneurs are coming back to the US where they belong. Under my leadership, we will codify a future-proof digital asset market structure that cannot be undone by crypto haters. The new frontier of finance is being built in America, and Trump will never let crypto down. So he's obviously, putting the pressure now to get the Clarity Act to continue to move here in the Senate because time is running out. So we got to get the bill done. All this talking and all that don't matter unless you get the bill done because the midterm elections are coming up. And even if the SEC and the CFTC continue to provide the rulemaking and guidance, which is great, right? By the way, it's absolutely great. If we don't get it put into law, another administration could come in and wipe out everything, right? And bring back another Gary Gensler. And this is where we got to get this done. So let's see what the Trump administration is able to do here with Congress to get this all pushed through. And also they got to get the anti-CBDC Act done because this is still up in the air, despite all the talk over the years, right? So you got to get it done. All right, folks, quick word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by BitGo, the trusted infrastructure behind the digital asset economy. If you're serious about crypto, whether you're an investor, institution, or building in this space, you already know security, compliance, and execution are everything. And that's exactly what BitGo delivers. With over a decade of experience and 5,500 plus institutional clients across 100 plus countries, BitGo provides a full suite of services, including qualified custody, trading, staking, financing, and stablecoin infrastructure, all in one platform. Let's break it down. Want to launch crypto services fast? BitGo's crypto as a service lets banks, fintechs, and platforms go live in as little as a couple of months without dealing with complex licensing or infrastructure. If you're looking to launch a stablecoin, BitGo offers a complete stablecoin as a service platform from reserves and smart contracts to compliance, built to align with the new US regulatory framework that is the Genius Act. Want to earn rewards on your crypto? BitGo runs one of the largest institutional staking platforms with tens of billions staked across 50 plus networks, all while your assets stay securely in qualified custody. Need deep liquidity and execution? Their trading platform aggregates liquidity across 30 plus venues, giving you better pricing and the ability to trade directly from custody. No pre-funding required for approved clients. And if you need capital, BitGo offers crypto-backed financing, so you can unlock liquidity without selling your assets. So here's the bottom line. BitGo is one of the first federally chartered digital asset infrastructure companies offering regulated, insured custody and a platform built for institutions, but accessible to forward-thinking players across the space. So whether you're scaling a fintech, managing a fund, or building the future of finance, BitGo gives you all the tools that you need to do this securely, compliantly, and at scale. So learn more at bitgo.com and see why the biggest players in crypto trust BitGo.
Okay, moving ahead, Tether's US-focused stablecoin grows over 500% in a month, but still lags main rivals. So USAT's market cap jumped above $140 million in April, though it remains well behind Circle's USDC, PayPal's PYUSD, and Ripple's RLUSD tokens. So Tether obviously has the world's largest stablecoin, which is USDT, but to be Genius Act compliant, they launched the USAT version, and it's making grounds. Obviously, it has ways to go to grow, but Tether, look, they know how to run the stablecoin business. They've been at this for a long time. So I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year that this thing is growing even more. And I'm trying to get some folks like Bo Hines on to talk about it. You know, they've been doing some amazing things. So very interesting. The competition's heating up here. Now, look at this. VanEck launches the first US spot BNB ETF on NASDAQ. Many of you know BNB is the native token to Binance, the exchange, and the smart chain. So again, the on-ramps being set up here in the bloody bear market, the on-ramps are being set up. We know alts are not doing really well right now. They're kind of waiting on Bitcoin to move, right? So this is really great that these on-ramps are being set up. And if VanEck is going to do it, you can imagine the other players like Bitwise and the Grayscale and much more are also going to follow suit. So this is really great. This is what we want to see, the on-ramps being set up for when we enter back into the next bull market. Okay, look at this news. A blockchain lottery plans to turn crypto gambling fees into Ethereum developer funding. This is an interesting one. Crypto lottery platform Megapot is teaming up with the Protocol Guild in a blockchain-based charity lottery that automatically directs referral fees from ticket sales to Ethereum core developers. The initiative aims to address Ethereum's growing developer funding gap by turning speculative crypto activity into a transparent on-chain funding stream for the engineers maintaining the network. So this is really great, supporting developers. As far as crypto lottery, obviously, I'm not endorsing this platform. I don't know much about it. So be careful if you're participating in any gambling or lottery crypto related, because you need to make sure these platforms are vetted, they are set up well, and that they have lasting potential. But this is really great that they're going to be supporting developers, which is very beneficial for Ethereum here. Final news item, SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce defends crypto privacy tools against surveillance push. So she said, financial privacy is becoming increasingly undervalued in U.S. regulation, warning against treating privacy-preserving technologies with suspicion. Speaking Wednesday at Georgetown Law, Peirce described privacy-enhanced technologies, including cryptographic tools, as legitimate components of modern financial infrastructure rather than tools primarily associated with criminal activity. Peirce said that protecting financial privacy does not conflict with national security objectives. Here's a quote: empowering governments to be able to identify, pursue, and punish the bad guys is important to the security of the nation and its people, but so too is empowering people to protect information about their lives, including their financial lives. She's absolutely right. And, shout out to Hester Peirce. She certainly believes in the law and the Constitution and protecting people's rights. And these are things I'm concerned about. I'm going to be interviewing former CFTC chairman Chris Giancarlo again next week. He was heading up the Digital Dollar Project. And, our past conversations talked about privacy and the Constitution, not just in a CBDC world, but in a stablecoin world, that the same thing that a CBDC can do, some stablecoins can do. And if the government doesn't respect your rights via these stablecoins and you're using them, that's not good, right? If they want to, go after someone they think is doing something bad, get a warrant, right? Go through the judicial system and get it done the right way, versus, spying on people and saying people don't have the right to privacy. So I absolutely agree here with Hester Peirce, and I hope to get her back on soon to talk about all these things and more. She added that privacy technologies can help individuals protect themselves from hackers, scammers, and malicious actors, and should not be viewed as an opportunity for the government to watch more of what its citizens do. She's absolutely right here. So Peirce also encouraged developers building privacy-enhancing technologies to engage with the SEC's crypto task force, particularly on tools that could support know your customer, KYC, and anti-money laundering AML compliance requirements. So shout out to Hester Peirce, obviously big time crypto advocate, but also for maintaining people's rights and the free market and much more. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. What do you think Bitcoin's going to do? Do you think we're going to break through that $71,000 floor and go to lower prices, or maybe we bounce, guys, right? Those are the scenarios in front of us right now. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Be sure to support the podcast by subscribing to my free email newsletter. I'll be doing a write-up tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. It's free, so it doesn't cost you anything. And be sure to grab a copy of my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And if you want to expand your knowledge around blockchain technology and crypto, check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. Right now, we got a bear market sale going on. If you use the code BEAR, BEAR, at checkout, you can get 50% off the price of the course. So check it out. Knowledge is power. Expand your knowledge around this asset class and technology. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.